Some background. On March 17, 2023, Andrew Bridgen, an MP, wanted to read a paper in Parliament questioning what we know about the safety of the mRNA vaccines. Everyone walked out. The video is playing behind me. Dr. Campbell noticed that it looked coordinated between all political parties, but he didn't want to say more. Who is Dr. John Campbell? He has been producing videos in the UK about COVID since it emerged. He doesn't seem to have a life, doesn't go to meetings or shop Teslas. He spends 12 hours a day researching COVID, reading papers, talking to scientists and doctors, and reporting his findings each day to his audience. I say, without exaggeration, that I believe he is one of the most knowledgeable people in all of the UK, United Kingdom, about COVID, if not the world. If you don't believe me, you can go through his 300 plus hours of COVID-19 content and counting. If you look at some of his recent videos, you might think he's a bit conspiratorial or an anti-vaxxer. Nothing could be further from the truth. He has only become frustrated by the government and Big Pharma, who have played, fast and loose with the evidence. Believe it or not, scientists have emotions too, and when they're repeatedly lied to, they get upset. But hey, if you want to believe the government has handled the pandemic just fine and Dr. Campbell is overreacting, then this video is not for you. Okay, on to my rant. All across England, there are people who received the mRNA vaccine and then got sick. Maybe it was in their heads, maybe it was a coincidence, whatever, they want answers. They elect a member of parliament to go listen and talk to other MPs about the answers they want on a variety of subjects, like, is the government-sponsored vaccine making me sick? It's just a question. Then, when an MP gets up to talk about getting answers to whether the mRNA vaccines are making people sick, they all walk out. Every one. And this MP, Andrew Bridgen, studied biology in college. Biology! Do you know how many other MPs studied health sciences? Almost none. How is it possible that they feel they're more qualified to ignore him? Where do they get off walking out of Parliament and going to the pub for a drink? They might say, we walked out to do real work. What real work? Their work is to listen to people with different interests or priorities. Why else does Parliament exist? Why was that chamber built? It is not for any MP to walk out on anyone, period. Without manners, there is no civilization. If an MP disagrees with someone, then they can stand up and speak their mind. If they don't want to do that, then they can just sit there because it is their function in society to do so. How does Merck, Pfizer, and Moderna get the power to clear the Chamber of Parliament? Andrew Bridgen, for some backstory, was removed from his own political party in January, the Conservatives no less, for tweeting something he heard from a cardiologist that the mRNA vaccine was the biggest crime since the Holocaust. Okay, bad taste. But let me get this straight. England did not let in all the Jews fleeing the Nazis, many of them who were turned back and ended up in gas chambers. And these MPs walk out because why? Because they feel guilty about the complicity in the Holocaust? No, they think they were the good guys. If someone wants to tweet something about the Holocaust on Twitter, sorry English elites, you need to go back and read your own history. Everyone has some blame for the Holocaust. No one should stand on principle when the word is mentioned. You have no right to get grandstand about people who died. You want to worry about refugees dying, go right down to your beach today. People of England, you aren't part of the European Union. You aren't even part of a civilized people. You're an island of babies, an island of blowhard lovers. Why do you beat up on one of the poorest members of your parliament while the CEOs of those pharma giants, they're personally worth hundreds of millions of dollars, drink with you at the pub? Do you realize UK is a laughingstock? First you do Brexit because you don't want to sit through meetings in Brussels, and then you find woke excuses, even the Conservatives, to avoid working in your own building? Are there any lazier people on earth than the English? The white empire of sloth, grandstanding, puffery, and a pathetic military that can barely spare a few tanks and has no fighter jets of its own. Now, I don't fully blame those MPs. England's healthcare system is shambolic. There can be nothing good to say. Maybe it is best to go to the pub. And well, whatever the constituents are getting sick from, mRNA vaccines or hypochondria or it's in their head, it doesn't matter. Parliament is one step away from having to hire people to drive around in vans shouting, "Bring out your dead, bring out your dead." Parliament should be their first stop.